Super disappointing first half. I was proud of the guys for having some fight in the second half, and we just got to get better in 100 different ways. Hit me.
You talked a lot about the long game with this program. I mean, how much of a hit does this sort of setback take in those efforts?
Well, it just depends how we use it. If this is super hard. It's just hard, and with really good programs, the game and the program changes you. It literally changes you as a human being. It makes you steeled and hungry and competitive and relentless. And you're not just born that way. You become that way. And in really good programs, what happens is you come and you suffer and sacrifice and get beat up your freshman year and your sophomore year, and you start to earn some opportunity your junior year, and you become great as a junior and senior because you've suffered through that. And for us, we don't get to roll that way this year. This is just all guys that are thrown in the fire, and they have to kind of live through the misery of taking tough losses. And if you treat it right, it changes you. And it's the greatest gift of sports if you treat it right. And what I mean by treating it right is if you take the emotion and you carry it and you let it just stir around in your insides, and you can't sleep, and you fight every day to get better, it really does change you. It's so painful. It's the pressure of it that changes you. If you keep looking to lift up your teammates, it has a chance to change you. If you avoid the traps of finger pointing or bailing and taking the easy road out, it really has a chance to change you. So if you treat it right, if you take a night like tonight and you put it in the whole sum of things, it could really change this young group. It could be a part of what changes them and makes them tough enough and hungry enough and committed enough and experienced enough and everything else enough to go win games in the future. So, that's the hope, and I have a lot of trust in these guys. I think we have exceptional young men, and I think that's how they're going to take it. And it's just a miserable experience, and there's no way to hide from it. And you don't want to, actually. You don't want to numb it. You want to let it change you. And so, that's what I hope is happening now.
Santa Clara scored 47 points in the first half.
Yeah.
Where did things go wrong defensively?
Yeah, we were a train wreck in transition defense, and it was really disappointing. It's been a huge point of emphasis for us the last couple of weeks, and clearly I'm doing a very, very poor job translating that into games, especially tonight. And we knew transition. They scored 26 points in transition last time we played them, and we protected the ball much better tonight. But we just were we were non-communicative in the first half. We had no urgency in transition defense the first half. We weren't. They really hurt us with rim runs in the first half in terms of us leaving them deathly open or getting us in mismatches that we didn't handle well. And so that was super distressing, and that's just a place where we have to grow. We have to get better, and but that was really difficult. It was difficult to watch. It was difficult to be a part of. I think it's going to be difficult for us to digest.
You guys have had some tough losses this year. Do you feel like this is a new low for this team this year, or how would you assess this?
I don't know if it's a new low. I just think, I think it's my job to have our team ready to play, and so I think it's probably a low for me in terms of my performance as a coach. But it is. There's been a lot of weight on these guys this season. It's a lot of weight. This has been heavy for these guys, and we as a group, have been ill prepared or not fully prepared to manage everything that's happened to us this season, everything that we've faced this season, and that doesn't come as a surprise. We knew that coming in, that this was going to be a complicated year for us. And the most important thing is that, like we talk about all the time, are we taking all these hard lessons and are we going to put them in the bank, and are we going to let them make us better? So, and that remains to be seen. It remains to be seen on Saturday and next Saturday and in the WCC tournament and next year and the year after. That's the complication with approaching the game like this, is that you don't get ready-made answers every single day.
What do you think of Trey's performance off the bench?
Super proud of Trey. Super proud of Trey. You know, it's interesting. You know, I talk about guys that pay their dues and suffer in practice every day and don't get opportunities and don't get love. And he is on that path right now. He's on the path to becoming a really, really special player. And he has been changed because of he didn't get any opportunities last year, and he had up and down opportunities this year, and like he is actually handling this right, and he's letting it grow him into a really special competitor, and he's got a terrific future, and he's still got a bunch of mountains he's got to climb, but I was really proud of him in the sense of like in a really disorienting night, especially sitting on the bench the whole first half. It's exactly the example, actually. Very few people can sit there and watch the debacle that it was and feel all the weird feelings that are happening in that circumstance, and then come off the bench and actually from the get-go make really, really positive plays and have really, really positive energy. There's very few people that can do that if you just talk about the human population. And you know how you learn how to do that? You suffer like Trey has for the last 2 years. And that's the process this team's going through. And so it was all going to pay huge dividends, but, you know, like we've talked about, it's super painful. But Trey could not have performed better tonight. I thought he was terrific. I thought he was under control. I thought he was super aggressive. I thought he was managed his fouls really well. I thought he was great playing off 2 feet. He gave us a defensive spark. I thought he was really helpful for us.
3 questions.
Noah has struggled shooting the long conference play. He was over 3 tonight.
Yeah.
How do you get him going or help him get his
Yeah.
confidence back on the offensive end?
Yeah, and the way you do that is you don't think about the offensive end. You really lock in on the defensive end, and so he's trying to do that right now. And I think he's a player that I think has a tremendous upside. But he's had so many disruptions for all kinds of different reasons over the last 6 weeks that it's hard to find yourself right now. But he's a beautiful kid, and he's going to keep fighting, and he'll find his way.
Coach, what is it
2 more
about?
questions. What is it about Rudy's game? This is the second time against Santa Clara where he
Yeah.
had 20 points.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, I felt like Rudy, you know, found a little bit of fight, a little bit of veteran fight in the first half. He probably gave us as much as we had. And I thought his decision-making was pretty good. But he is, you know, he's got some physicality to him, and he's got a little bit of burst of speed to him, and you know, he was one of the bright spots tonight for sure.
What's the initial intel on his ankle? Like he was kind of limping off. And
Yeah, I mean, he was saying he was okay to stay in the game, so we'll see. I don't know. We'll find out more here in the next couple of hours.
And just the challenge of St. Mary's
Yeah.
on Saturday. Your team's responded well in top 25
Yeah.
games, but
Yeah.
do you think they got enough to kind of bounce back again?
Yeah, for sure. I got so much confidence in this group. I have a ton of confidence in this group, and so I have every expectation that we'll go down there. And it's the toughest venue in our league right now this year, and I have every expectation these guys will raise the challenge in terms of meeting the competitive level, and they'll keep growing and learning. I mean, that's what we're about, and that's how we do it. And so I have every expectation that we're going to have a great, passionate, intense, heartfelt performance on Saturday against a team that wants to take all that away from you, and they're really good at it.
Okay, guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.